have a collective voice through Farm Bureau, and it does represent from one end of the state to the other with very disparate needs and concerns.
All of us make up a small piece of it, but it's super diverse, and it's just amazing that we all get in one room, that we can be that one single voice for agriculture.
We need a voice, a combined voice of all the farmers in Tennessee to fight for our rights and what we are doing to survive in Tennessee as a farmers.
They do so much for the 2% of the population that are feeding 100%.
Continuing in tradition, farmers from across Tennessee gathered for the Tennessee Farm Bureau Federation's 102nd annual meeting, hearing about pressing issues in the industry, electing new members to the State Board of Directors, and of course, setting policy for 2024. Tennessee Young Farmers and Ranchers kicked things off, hearing from military veteran and current ICTech CEO Patrick Mudge, and hearing from leaders in the industry on issues farmers are facing.
What you guys are doing is so important, and I'm really, really optimistic that my children have a future because of these guys.
Farm management is important, and one of the things we often find out is that the successful farm managers are also successful leaders as well, and I think that's very much embodies what the Young Farmer and Ranchers program here is all about.
Also, Matthew McClanahan won state discussion meet, and Robert Hill was elected state wife and our chair.
It's such an honor and a privilege to be able to represent the state of Tennessee in Salt Lake City, and I think back on my years of prior experiences, and it really makes you appreciate this victory so much more. And really the best thing is just the people I've been able to meet and the contacts and the friendships I've been able to develop over the years. So it's a wonderful culmination of my Young Farmer and Rancher career.
I'm looking forward to this year as we continue to try to make Y&R better than what we got it. I mean, I feel like it's in it's been in great hands, and I hope to continue on that legacy of this past state chair.
The rest of the annual meeting started by honoring 5 distinguished leaders for their service to Farm Bureau. The guest speakers included 3 state constitutional officers and a presentation on artificial intelligence in agriculture.
We touch so many different parts of every Tennessean's lives, whether it's through elections, whether it's through business formations and charities, and serve on 15 different boards and commissions that touch practically every corner of state government. You know, today what my focus was, though, is trying to get people to understand that they can have an impact on elections.
It's a huge economic input for Tennessee. So we're a big part of our state's economy is farm produce and farm production, and it's important in that regard. And finally, it's important just for good, solid Tennessee values, Tennessee family values.
The one thing that I know as comptroller is that the key to being a successful farmer is to be able to manage a budget wisely. And I want all of our farmers, all of our rural citizens to know that in Tennessee, we work just as hard to manage our budget in a conservative, meaningful way.
There are so many applications of AI in agriculture, and I think what we'll see is that they're going to be able to increase productivity. I think it will reduce cost, and I think it will also help with a lot of the labor shortages that many farmers are experiencing.
Governor Bill Lee stopped by to show his support for farmers and the entire agriculture industry.
What's happening here at Farm Bureau is important to every other Tennessean, because to the degree that the ag industry prospers, Tennessee's economy prospers. That's a little bit why what happens in rural Tennessee matters to every Tennessean. It's why from Executive Order number 1 till today, I'll continue to talk about, advocate for, and advance policy that impacts rural economies.
Some new faces were selected for Farm Bureau leadership positions at the state level. Valerie Till was selected to represent District 3 on the State Women's Committee, and Dawn Groves was selected to represent District 2.
The Committee of Women is phenomenal. I've made some great friendships through the course of the work that we've done with Farm Bureau and American Farm Bureau conventions, and have gotten to know them, so I'm excited to be able to work with them.
In the business session, Eric Mayberry was reelected as the Tennessee Farm Bureau president for a second term. Charlie Hancock and David Richardson were reelected as directors at large on the State Board of Directors, along with Todd Littleton, who was newly elected as the third director at large.
Take it as an honor to represent my peers in an organization that I feel like is important to agriculture and will lead the way in the future as we navigate challenges that come to my farm operation at home.
But perhaps the most important part of annual meeting is discussing and adopting policy.
It's done. You have a 2024 policy.
255 voting delegates representing all 95 counties voted to adopt policy for 2024.
It is an outstanding convention as far as the Farm Bureau for us as individuals to voice our opinions and set the policy for the following year that our legislative team is going to go to the Hill and fight for us on the issues that we have facing farmers.
We're here just trying to support everything that's going on, and we want to be a part of it. We want to see things grow for our children, our grandchildren, and we want to see the farm economy flourish. We want to see our rural communities flourish.
It's been real exciting this year. As a chairman, this is my second year as chairman, and our group has worked very hard to see how well we had done with other groups in the state. And just the friendships that we have formed in our county and in other counties have been very special this year.
I've been involved in Farm Bureau for about 5 years now, and being involved at the county level. And I was on the resolutions committee this year, and just opened my eyes at how extremely important it is to get our voices out, voice of agriculture, and be able to affect the policy that actually takes place at the state level.
One thing that's unique about Tennessee Farm Bureau is that individual delegates have real input and real say in the development of policy and selecting board members and so forth. And this is our opportunity to provide that input to make sure that we have the representation that we'd like to have, representing our values and our interests.
Now, with policy set for 2024, Farm Bureau members can get ready for a new year with assurance that their voice will be united as one voice of agriculture.